play the same.
Welcome to Two Aging Millennials.
We're back.
We are back, and today, what are we having? We're having...
You made it.
Yes.
What did you concoct?
It is a cold brew tea. In Jamaica, it's
cold
called...
brew tea? How do you even do that? I've actually never heard of a cold brew tea.
No,
I
never. Shouldn't have said cold brew. Just brew.
Oh. I'm really excited. Okay, I'm still excited. I'm still excited.
I was like, why is she so excited?
I'm like, a cold brew tea? Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, in Jamaica it's called Sorrel, and it's a holiday drink, but it's this plant that's super good for you, and it's like hibiscus. It's hibiscus juice, and it's good with vitamin C. It's good for your immune system, and this I infuse it with ginger. And then
you infuse the tea once you make it?
With ginger. So I heated it up with the sorrel tea because I didn't have time to do it with the fresh sorrel. And I infused it with ginger, and I put a smidge of pure cane sugar. I brought a little example for you guys, but I have the big pack that I got from Martinique, and they're like a big sugar island. So
cheers.
How do you like it?
I really like it.
Ooh, good. It
has a good sweet. It has like a nice little sweet aftertaste. Is there sugar in here?
I told you I put like less than a spoon.
So not a lot.
No, and it's pure cane sugar.
It's really good.
Martinique.
No, it's really, really delicious. I love it.
Because you can't use too much of that kind of sugar because I think it's like, since it's pure, I don't know, I assume it's...
You know I also don't like tea.
Oh, yes. But
I like iced tea? Some iced teas.
Yeah. You like iced tea,
once in a while, but this is actually one of my favorites. I really like this.
And it's very good for your immune system. We were talking in another video about like eating right for your skin and stuff. So
glowing from the inside.
Exactly. So what are we talking about today?
We were talking about how to handle not liking a friend's partner. And you had, of course, some celebrity gossip.
Oh yeah, in terms of just exes.
Probably not even that exciting news, but like I just feel like I'm always behind.
Oh, about Brad. Oh, when I told you that Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk broke up.
Which I had no idea.
I think they're a beautiful couple. They have a child together.
They do? Oh,
yeah,
no.
she is a toddler.
Really sad.
Yeah, it's a girl. I can't remember her name, but she's a toddler.
Oh, no.
And yeah, they ended things. Yeah. So.
Well, you know, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah.
But I was wondering because then you said maybe Lady Gaga and her guy broke up. Was that a fact?
I think so. I'm not 100% on it, but I am. I'll say 70% sure. 70% sure.
It's sad. I honestly, it's funny, but even when it's like a friend and like someone I may not even like that much, when people break up, I just get sad.
I think that's a really reasonable.
Just a sad thing.
Yeah, you should be. You're like, that's a shame.
Do you remember that movie, The Breakup?
That was
Jennifer
fun.
Aniston.
That
No,
was
it was not a fun one. I thought it was fun
comedy.
for like the first half. No, everyone thought it was going to be a comedy, and then everyone left the theater like. And by the way, I'm aging myself talking about this because I think it's pretty old now.
I don't remember the downer part of it.
It was so sad. It ended up being sad.
Oh.
I really didn't like it.
They didn't get back together at the end?
No. That's why it was like a weird twist.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. If you didn't see this 15 years ago or whenever it came
didn't.
out.
I assumed that they
Exactly. You probably stopped watching after the beginning.
You know what I watched this weekend and I thought you would like, because I was up doing edits. It was a Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler movie. When they go to Africa.
Oh.
I think they were
I haven't seen that one.
They were
I thought you were going to say
Blended.
100 First Dates.
No, Blended.
Oh, was it good?
It was real. I was like, this is a Sophie movie.
I'm big fans
It was
of
a
both,
good. It was
both of those actors.
Yes, it was a really funny rom-com. I like them.
Yeah, I like
really
them too.
Drew Barrymore, love her hat situation.
I like to follow her on Instagram.
I don't follow her on Instagram.
Talk about realness on freaking Instagram. Drew Barrymore.
Really?
Hats off.
I really like her. I've always liked her.
She's a real person.
I've always really
Like her
liked her.
a lot.
I feel good, and I feel good about liking her.
Me too.
She's like A good
I think
time.
she's a good person and a good time. What was that noise?
I just want to make sure that noise wasn't.
I think it was a text.
Okay, cool.
Who's hitting you up?
You just never know. Sophie used to have people. So going back to not liking a friend.
Did you ever not like one of my exes?
No, but I just thought about it going back to bringing it back to the topic.
Oh, I was like, going back to what?
Let me think.
I always liked yours, but I've definitely had friends. Actually, we have a close friend that, you know, I clashed so much with her ex that it
was
caused
a hard
huge
time
rift.
for the group.
Yeah,
It was a hard time for the group.
it caused a really huge rift. I think for me, usually, I don't care. I try not to concern myself like with who people are dating. I don't. It's not me having to date them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think once that person tries to break up a friendship or sort of like says rude things about the person's friend and tries to isolate, especially if it's a her, like a woman, I just don't, then I can't get on board with it. It really freaked me out.
I think it's harder. I do generally think that you're more tolerant than I am about, like, if you don't care for them, then that's
don't
fine.
care as long as they're not, as long as I don't think they're bad for the person.
Exactly.
You know what, like you don't have to be with them.
Exactly.
And yes, of course you have to go to like one thing or another. There's actually, Eric's so funny about that type of thing. Like friends of mine that have husbands or boyfriends that he just doesn't like, he's always like, why do we all have to go to dinner together? You know?
I agree with Eric.
But I agree.
So that's where I fall in, that I'm at the age where I've done pretty well about being able to choose who I spend my extracurricular time with. And if I don't like your significant other, and not just me being petty, like I don't like them as a person deep down, then I don't want to be around them. And so that's where I think it gets trickier to navigate, because they might make you happy, but I find them vile.
But, okay, but like one-on-one maybe, but you don't usually have to hang out with them one-on-one. And like another solution I find is if you have to get together with them, maybe make it a group activity so that there's more than just a few people there. There's like a lot of people, and you can sort of be around them and be pleasant, but you don't need to spend direct time with them.
Yes.
That helps.
I think it helps. I think that it's oftentimes that I'm pretty warm, and if I don't like you, I'm not. And they can tell.
But like, what makes you not like somebody?
You want to go through like people's
I just want to know, like, do you have an example in mind?
Like sometimes I don't think that they're a good person. I think
then
that
I
they're
think,
a liar.
Yeah, liars are bad.
Or I think that they're full of BS. That's another thing that sometimes people that are full of BS are actually like very pleasant to other people to be around.
It's a phony versus a real phony.
Exactly.
That's another Arthurism.
Yes, exactly.
So phonies are people that, you know, are full of BS and they know it. They're trying to sort of make everyone believe something that's false and whatever. Real phonies actually believe themselves, even if it's not real. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so we like real phonies.
I like real phonies, but I don't.
Because they believe themselves. They're so into it that they believe it.
Exactly.
But phonies are trying to deceive you.
Exactly.
So you don't like phonies.
And so I don't like and I hate.
I guess it's just better not to be phony at all. But if you have to choose between a phony, you're gonna go with a real phony.
The real phony.
The real phony.
And so I think that's a different one. Besides thinking they're a bad person, that's one that I might not like them, but other people think they're fine, and I'm like, this person's full of crap. I don't wanna hear another story from them. I don't want to be around them. So and
we can find that actually with like friends of friends. And I'm thinking of a specific dinner right now. That we were at a specific dinner. Stella's awake. So we're gonna have to be real quick with this. So remember we were at a specific dinner. We were across from a friend of a friend, and she was saying crazy things. Yes. Crazy, invalid things.
Yes.
Completely. And we were both pretty annoyed.
Yeah. She was saying just completely wrong.
I'm gonna go. Get the babe.
We have a new
guest. Continue. Tell the story.
She was saying just completely ridiculous things, Sophie is married. Sophie's husband was sitting next to her. She was part of what she was saying was that racism in America and how horrible America is. She is not from the U.S. And I think she expected me to just join along with her because she's like, Europe is so much better. There's no racism there. And yes, I enjoy living in Europe. I'm American. You're not going to knock American with false facts and say that this doesn't happen there. You look so cute with that headband on. And when we were presenting her with facts, she just like would get annoyed. So at a certain point, she stopped speaking to Sophie and I. Another thing that she said was that she like hated marriage and didn't believe you're talking to a married couple.
Yeah, she was talking to me and Eric, and she was talking about how marriage was a sham.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
So just someone who just chooses to be vile for vile's sake or offensive.
That was a hard seating.
And that's a friend of a friend.
But what do you do in that situation?
That's
Stella?
well, in the way that she stopped speaking to us, I think both of us, you can tell when we do not like you and are not enjoying what you're saying.
No, but we were pretty nice because I've seen her since, and she likes me.
I know that it's when you've spoken to her and has seen her since, like she was in your home. I would hope that she would be nice to you.
But I think at that dinner she stopped interacting with us because she knew we weren't buying it.
Would she have some?
No, it's iced tea. Is it caffeinated or actually? That's a good question.
Can babies have tea? Caffeine free.
Caffeine free, yes. She can try it.
Okay.
Here, you have some. Want to try it? Yeah, I think it's hard whether or not it's a significant other of a friend or even a friend of a friend.
Mm-hmm. Or your significant other's friends.
Or your significant other's friends. I happen to really like my husband's friends, like a lot. It's actually been delightful. I almost have like kind of adopted a new
great.
fun group. I mean, you've met them too, and we've all sort of like gotten together,
they're a good group.
I really love that. But I think I've been lucky. I also sort of feel the same about like in-laws, right?
Yeah, you just never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we've got a fun bunch.
We do. We
This
have.
company gave me this for my birthday and I think it's breaking.
Oh.
But I think that you have to respect someone for the sake of your friendship, your significant other in that sense. But if it's to the point that they are a bad look for them, what do you do? That's what when we're thinking about the case with our friend. It was
I'm not as
a
worried
bad
about
look.
somebody being a bad look as I am worried about somebody just not being like a good person to the person that you care about. I think that,
for example, if someone you were dating was like creating scenes in public, that's what I mean by a bad look, like that.
Right, that's just not nice in general, and that's probably not like healthy for the person. However, I think that
Do you
I
like
have
it?
sometimes been like quick to judge somebody right away, and I'm kind of like, oh, I don't think I'm like gonna like this person or whatever. And then a lot of the times when I've given that person like sort of like a chance, like actually recently, you know, like a friend of ours recently like got a new boyfriend, and I didn't really like him to begin with that much. I didn't know him. And I sort of was like, oh, I liked the old guy, whatever. And then I recently spent some time with him, and I was very upfront with her, and I said, you know what, I'm really glad I got to spend time with him because we really had a great time, and I think he's a great guy. But I had to like let go of what you wanted to sort of think, and I kind of wanted to be like, oh, I'm not gonna like this person.
Yeah.
Stella's got some hair going, don't you think?
Yes. It's a look.
It's a look.
No?
It's not? No. Alright.
So let us know what you think. Let us know if there are any significant others of friends that you want us to DM and tell them to stop behaving that way.
I think at the end of the day though, like, you know, we did something about adult friendships. Don't we just want like I think we really as an adult friend, you're friends because you want the best for that person. You really care about them. And therefore I think like the best policy is just to make sure that they're okay.
Before we go, would you cut them off and say, we've seen other friends handle it that way, that said, as long as you're doing this with this person, you can't be in my life.
I would not, you know, even when I had this sort of riff with the friends, good friend, significant other, it was very difficult, but I knew in my heart and in my head that in fact I really cared about our friendship.
Mhm.
And so I knew it was something that I was just gonna have to sort of wait out and hope that, you know, she came out the other end.
Mhm.
I'm not someone really to cut people off, especially if it's somebody really important to me.
Mhm.
I'd rather sort of like wait and sort of be there for them on the back burner.
Yeah.
That's
Well
that.
then,
Bye, guys.
see you next time. Wait, for the YouTube content.
Oh yeah.
Nye,
Sorry. That was 15 though.
but Nye, for the YouTube content.
We're gonna continue
What
this
would you do?
conversation
What
for
would
YouTube.
you do? Would you cut somebody off?
Well,
Have you cut somebody
I've
off?
seen it work both ways in our friend group, and I think before that I would say no, I would never cut someone off. But at the end of the day, it seemed to have worked out both ways. Would I cut someone off? I think for a lot of friends, it's hard when you don't want to be the person who says, I told you so. You want to be a shoulder for them to cry on, but you also don't want to hear the same song and dance about that person.
I think it's just fair to be able to say, look, I'm gonna stay out of it. I told you what I think, and I cannot hear the same thing again. I've told you what I think, and like I want to be supportive, but I can't do it. You know what I mean? And hope that they then can respect your boundaries on that situation. I think that would be.
I think that's fair, and I think that is ideal. But if you don't like your significant other's acts at the end of the day, and you think that, and they are against it, you don't want to isolate your friend. And it seems
You do
sometimes
not wanna
that's the
isolate your friend.
situation that the person is trying to create.
Right. Well, that's actually a really important part of it. You do not want to isolate your friend.
So you still want to feel like them to feel that they can come to you no matter what.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that person is trying to isolate.
Right.
And
And your friend, that's when your friend really needs you. That's when you really need to be there as a friend.
Exactly.
I love that.
So that's the hardest part in that situation where
Right, like go beyond yourself, like put yourself, like don't, it's not about you for
I think
a
that's a
minute.
good way to say it. Go beyond yourself.
Go beyond yourself and realize that there's something bigger happening and be there for your friend.
And they'll come out through it. They'll come out the other
You know,
side.
sometimes it takes years.
Sometimes it takes years.
You hang in there.
It flew by though, I felt.
It flew by.
That's
Okay. All right, thanks
Cheers.
for watching. Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Cheers. Well, that stopped at exactly 15 for IGTV. So it was like, hey guys, that's that.
All right.
Did you really like the tea?
How do you think it went?
I think it went well. I think that's like a good advice.